Thank you, everybody. I'm Kweisi Mfume of Maryland, Baltimore in particular, and I just can't say enough about Chris Smith. So if you allow me, thank you. If you allow me just a point of personal privilege, I want to say some things about the legislation, but I would be remiss if I did not talk about Chris and his heart and how he has been after this over and over and over again, and how great it's been to work with him. People oftentimes look at Washington as being dysfunctional, that Democrats and Republicans cannot and will not work together. So Chris and I have defied that on a number of different pieces of legislation, which we got passed.
That's right. That's right.
And we're here today on this very important piece. So he's just been doing this for a long time without a lot of fanfare. I'm happy, quite frankly, just to be his partner in this regard and to co-author and co-sponsor the legislation that we're talking about today. I would also be remiss if I did not talk about, speak to, highlight, and be redundant about mentioning the fact that there's so many groups of individuals here. They're all behind us. You'll hear from some of them shortly. They are doing God's work. They do this day in and day out. Many of them could be doing other things, but they've sort of pledged and dedicated their hearts and their lives to trying to help people become, not to become victims, and to help people to understand some of the early warning signs. Please applaud all of them. You won't hear from everyone, but I want you to know they're all here for the same cause. Now, two quick things. Why the Frederick Douglass Act? Frederick Douglass, as most of us know, was a slave. He got out of slavery. He taught himself how to read and write. He learned 7 languages. But one thing that he never forgot, and that was what happened to him and how cruel and evil it was to be moved around with other persons simply because of their race. Frederick Douglass worked in Maryland for a long time, lived there not far from my district, and had one thing that he never let go of. He always thought that it was so immoral for people to be trafficked, whether they were slaves, whether they were women, whether they were children, that this notion of bondage was working against the American principle, and he spent so much of the rest of his life fighting for that. As you heard, his great-great-great-grandson wanted to be here today, is not, but has worked on this legislation and worked in the communities around America to support Chris in this effort and to support me. So I just want to make sure that we understand that it is not a accident that this is named the Frederick Douglass bill, because we stand for the principles that he stood for. All trafficking is wrong. All bondage is wrong. And the last thing that I just want to simply mention, if I might, because Chris did such a great job on talking about the aspects of this bill that are important both nationally and internationally, is to talk about in many, many ways the heart and the soul of what this is all about. This is about nameless, faceless individuals who are not here today, who may never see this press conference, who are just a step away from being snatched or tricked or lured into some sort of evil situation. What you do and why this is so important is because this bill also finds a way to reach down, as Chris said, into schools, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, to start teaching particularly young girls and women what to look out for, what are the signs, what to do, what not to do. We can't say enough for local law enforcement, who in many respects has been on top of this, but we need more people to talk to more people and to reach more potential victims out there. And so it's a deep, deep honor and pleasure to be here with you, to fight for this. As Chris announced, we're actually going to get a vote on this next week. And we hope to be victorious. Thank you so much.